Ninja Kiwi just added a new feature to BTD6, but it seems like a lot of people don't like it, and some of them are even saying it's a scam. But is it really a scam? I bought it just to find out. Now, in case you weren't aware, I'm talking about the fast track feature, which has been in BTD5 for years, but only recently got added to BTD6 in the 45.0 update. And between BTD5 and BTD6, the mode is a little different. Back in BTD5, it always just skipped the first 25 rounds, but now it's based on the difficulty, and it skips a quarter of the rounds, and it does apply to things such as bosses in BTD6. However, there is one key difference that makes the BTD6 one far worse. Because back in BTD5, you could get fast track pretty easily with just 3,000 monkey money. But now, in BTD6, you can't get it with monkey money. You have to spend $9 on it. And yes, the BTD6 package technically does come with some other stuff, but let's be real, 10 powers and 5 tier 3 instas is not that much value. Now, this new feature has left everyone wondering, is it really worth the money? Well, I decided to buy it and find out so that you don't have to. Now, I decided to go through multiple game modes to see where the real value lies in this feature. I started with Geared on Magic Monkeys only, but then I realized that Geared sucks no matter what round you start on, so I quickly abandoned that one. Next up, I decided to try Fast Track on Impoppable on the new map Ancient Portal. I'd like to point out that Impoppable is technically the mode with the best value for this upgrade, as it skips the most rounds, starting you all the way on round 29 compared to round 6, so a 23 round skip. And as I progressed, I realized a new feature that wasn't mentioned in the upgrade description. It actually auto-levels your hero for you, so I started with a level 5 Etienne on this mode. Now, I won't say that there was really any secret advantage or whatever to this on this game, because there really wasn't. I just played through it like normal because Ancient Portal is way too easy and should be a low and intermediate, but that's my next video. Anyway, point is, all Fast Track did here is really just save me some time. That's it. Next up was a mode that I figured would be pretty interesting with Fast Track. Alternate bloons rounds. And this was a very different story compared to Impoppable, because with ABR, most of the difficulty comes from the early rounds where you have to do stupid stuff like defend a lead bloon on round 10 and deal with a camo lead on round 24. Now, with ABR and every other variation of hard mode that has 80 rounds, you start on round 22, and that does make it to where you still have to deal with the camo lead, but you also start with nearly $5,000, so you can easily deal with that. And unlike Impoppable, where it's mostly just a time saver, this mode actually takes quite a chunk out of the difficulty, because most of ABR's difficulty was the early rounds where they send stupid stuff at you and you can't defend it. So if you're looking to make alternate bloons rounds easier, then Fast Track might be worth it. Next up, I tried Easy Standard, but the footage of that one didn't save for some reason. I'll just say this, the only advantage of that one is that you can start with Churchill. That's basically it. And after testing it on a few more games, I realized that most of the feature of this mode is making early game no longer an issue, because early game on some maps can be bad, especially on Impoppable. I can see why this mode is banned in chimps, because most of the difficulty of chimps is round 7, especially on expert maps. And as I messed around more, I saw a few more pros and cons that maybe weren't immediately obvious. Now, one of the pros to this, collection events. Especially if you know how to beat Impoppable on the expert maps, you can grind collection events way quicker and skip most of the Impoppable early game difficulty. So if you're one of those crazy types that grinds 12 hours a day for 26 tier 5 instas that you'll never use, then Fast Track probably would be worth it for you. However, with boss events, Fast Track is definitely not worth it, because since it's a 140 round event, you start all the way on round 35, and while you do get a decent chunk of cash, it's nothing compared to how much you can make with farmers, so you're basically just shooting yourself in the foot with that one. Of course, that brings me right back to my original question. Is Fast Track a scam? Well, compared to BTD5, it objectively is, considering you can't get it with grinding through monkey money. And for what it's worth, I think what Ninja Kiwi should have done is make it cost like 25,000 monkey money or something. Yes, that's a lot more than BTD5, but there's also way more ways to get it in this game, so yeah. From the standpoint of this game, the answer is kind of. Yes, it kinda is a scam if you're a casual player who doesn't care much about medals or collection events, but if you're serious about the game and you really need the time saver, then it's probably worth it for you. Anyway, what are your opinions on the Fast Track mode? Make sure to comment below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.